Freedom Summit Chicago 2017 is coming to the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca on November 11th. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com.
Dan and Amy, Trump lashing out at NBC News in particular yesterday, part of the running antagonism between him and the D.C. press corps.
He's challenging to pull their broadcast license.
Well, they reported a story that suggested that he sought a 10-fold increase in the U.S. nuclear arsenal. And here's how the president responded to that report.
I never discussed increasing it. I want it in perfect shape. That was just fake news by NBC, which gives a lot of fake news lately. No, I never discussed. I think somebody said I want 10 times the nuclear weapons that we have right now. Right now we have so many nuclear weapons. I want them in perfect condition, perfect shape. That's the only thing I've ever discussed. General Mattis put out a statement, or is putting out a statement, saying that that was fake news, that it was just mentioned that way. And it's frankly disgusting the way the press is able to write whatever they want to write. And people should look into it. No, I want to have absolutely perfectly maintained, which we are in the process of doing, nuclear force. But when they said I want 10 times what we have right now, it's totally unnecessary, I believe.
And so he followed up with a tweet storm on the topic.
Yeah, and Comcast shares fell immediately following his tweet.
With all of the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Question mark. Bad for the country. Bad for country! Exclamation point. Network news has become so partisan, distorted, and fake that licenses must be challenged and, if appropriate, revoked. Not fair to the public. Bridge too far.
Yeah, you think? I mean,
Bridge too far.
FCC has 32-page rules. You can read through it. It's just not going to happen either.
Well, you make an argument, expose inaccuracies, suggest that they are handmaidens for the left, which is what they are. It's all fair game. But to talk about revoking licenses because of even if it was a completely fabricated story, to talk about revoking licenses is just not a place the President of the United States should go. And it's a case where, as we see not infrequently, Trump did not exercise the restraint that judiciousness would have demanded, in my opinion. For more on this, as well as, oh, by the way, tax reform, how's that going on the Hill? We're pleased to be joined by our friend Sean Duffy, congressman from up north there, north of the Cheddar Curtain, 7th Congressional District in Wisconsin. Sean, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's great to be with you guys, and I call it Chicago's vacation land, where you come and spend a lot of money in central and northern Wisconsin. So
yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah, and hey, guess what else a lot of people are doing?
They're also moving
to central and northern Wisconsin. But what about Trump's comments about the media?
I think you are spot on. Listen, if the media is fake, they tell false stories. You point that out, and they lose credibility, and they probably, with NBC, lose viewership. But to make a threat against the media to revoke licenses, I would agree that is a bridge too far. I mean, at some point you can see these policies reversed when there's a liberal president that could then go after a conservative press on the things that they don't like in regard to their reporting. So no, we want a free and open press. If you disagree with them, the president can go on any news network. He can jump on his Twitter, and he can point that out.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is the president gets frustrated. I heard him this morning make a comment that everyone may not know what the truth is. He said, but they're saying it about me. I know what the truth is. I know what I said, and this is false. And I think his frustration boils over sometimes, and he will make some rash comments like this one about revoking licenses. But it's not prudent. I don't think that kind of rhetoric doesn't advance the conversation of saying, you know what, we should have a mainstream news media that is far more accurate and far more fair. Point well made.
Yeah, but
let's not go to revoking.
Yeah, higher government scrutiny on Comcast. I mean, and then talk of yanking the license. Where's General Kelly? I thought he was going to be monitoring his tweets.
Well, I don't know that anyone's going to moderate Donald Trump's tweets. I think he has his own handle on his own phone, and he sends his own things out. But I would say, with General Kelly there, listen, I love Reince Reince was right. Reince previous, a Wisconsin guy. He was right for those first month in the White House, but the transition, I think, has been good, and General Kelly has streamlined the information flow to the president and been able to focus, I think, the president and the administration, cut down on a lot of the leaks. And I think things are, for the most part, going really well. And I think we have to, there's a lot of reporting about the things that, the president might say that are butting up to the line or over the line. But if you actually look at the results of this administration, take aside the fringer-esque comments. You have an economy that's growing at 3.1%, markets up, unemployment's down, border security is happening, rules and regulations are getting streamlined and cut back. Keystone Pipeline's being built. Wisconsin, I don't know about Illinois, we're a coal-dependent state. So making sure that we have American coal to make sure we have electricity in Wisconsin is important to us. He's crushing ISIS, rebuilding the military, to be smart about our nuclear armaments, and that they're ready to be used. Hopefully, God forbid, they ever have to be used. But as a deterrent, you got to make sure that your systems are upgraded and in good functioning order. That's a smart thing to say. But yeah, and he pushed back on this. But there's no need for a tenfold increase in nuclear armaments. I mean, we already have enough to destroy the world how many times over? You don't need any more.
Well, with some of the accomplishments notwithstanding that you're describing, you've got the public feud with Corker. You've got the suggestion of an internal feud with Tillerson. You have some suggestion that General Kelly, Vanity Fair piece today, is not particularly happy with his lot in life as chief of staff at present. Is there concern on the Hill about this administration cracking up, or is there still generally confidence in the Trump administration and the agenda?
I think most folks on the Hill are again result driven, and so this becomes palace intrigue, right? I mean, so we're hearing stories about how people feel and their emotional state in the administration. All I know from my vantage point, and sometimes I get inside information, sometimes I don't. I analyze information on Tillerson like you do. Donald Trump has zero problem firing people. He made a reality TV show around it. Mm-hmm. If he and Tillerson were not getting along, and Tillerson didn't have his trust, Tillerson would not be in the position of Secretary of State. He'd be fired. Make no mistake about that. So I think Donald Trump trusts Tillerson, and Tillerson trusts Trump. I don't see a problem there. And if there is, Tillerson will be gone. From our perspective on the Hill, we have to be focused on our own results and what do we get done.
Yeah.
And so I'm a House guy. We passed a health care reform bill. It went to the Senate and it failed. And I got to tell you, I think that this Graham-Cassidy bill that came up a couple of weeks ago and failed, that was the best package that came out of both of our chambers. Mm-hmm. We have 300 bills that we passed out of the House that are waiting for the Senate to take them up and work on them. They don't do it. And now comes tax reform. And the question becomes, can Congress act? Can we get something done? And I would tell you, the House will act. We will get a tax reform package that simplifies the code that I think will make America competitive again in this global economy. The question becomes, will the Senate be able to get their act together? And though I'm frustrated, I think that body is dysfunctional. Their rules are outdated. It doesn't work. I would tell you this, that those senators went home in August, and they were lit up by their constituents who are angry. They're frustrated at the fact that the Senate is obstructing. It's not just the agenda of this president. This is the own senators, the Republican senators. At least that's been their agenda as well, and they're thwarting the promises that they've made to their own constituents, which is a head scratcher to me. I think they're going to be coming to tax reform with a far greater drive to actually get it done. And I would say, you look at Dick Durbin. Why wouldn't Dick Durbin look at Illinois and say, you know what? We already pay too high taxes. Our state taxes is too much. Chicago taxes.
Are we talking about the same Dick Durbin? Well, I don't know which Dick Durbin you've been watching for 20 years.
No, I'm saying he should, though. He should go.
Yeah, he should.
Why don't I want to take some of this burden off of you on your federal taxes that you pay and help Illinois businesses get to a 20% corporate tax rate so they can be more successful. And it comes down to the philosophy: do we believe the Illinois and Wisconsin businesses or individuals can spend their money better than the federal government or the state government, or do we think the government spends our money better than us? And we believe we spend our money more prudently. That offers more growth than the federal government. And, I know that Dick isn't going to be there, but I wish he would. And I think that, his constituents should put a great deal of pressure on him and Tammy as well, that they should be on page, because this is not about Republicans and Democrats. This is about making America competitive again, making us be able to compete in a global economy. If you're a business and you have a choice of where to go, do you go to a country that's going to charge you 35% in a federal income tax rate on, and we won't even include what the state's going to charge you or your city's going to charge you, or you could go to some place like Ireland and pay 12.5%. Where do you go?
Right.
You go to places like Ireland or other places in the world that allow you to keep more of your hard-earned profits because you get to reinvest it. You get new research and development. You can hire new employees. You can give your good employees higher salaries. So I think this just makes sense for America, not as a partisan issue.
He is Sean Duffy, ever the optimist, so optimistic he thinks he can actually convince Durbin and Duckworth to vote for tax relief. Oh, boy. Sean Duffy, representative from the 7th Congressional District in Wisconsin. Thanks always for joining us, Sean. Appreciate it.
We can always try. You guys have a good morning.
Yes, absolutely.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a